Hello, and welcome to a voiceover review, something that I have never done. Did do a review before on the first version of Incredibox, but I had text on it instead of me talking, and that video was pretty mid, to be fair. But I'm here now doing voiceover, and we're going to do a review of the newest mod that just released called The Last Day, made by the person from Brazil. Sure there's probably a few other people that have worked on this mode as well, like Artemy. But yeah, this mod was based off of one of the songs made by the developers of the original Incredibox. So yeah, I've already seen this mod before, and I'm just going to be going through all of the sounds, and I guess I'll just give them a rating out of 10 because, it seems to be what everybody else does, and it's the easiest. So yeah, let's just go ahead. I'll probably I'll let most of the sounds play for 2 loops, but some of them only have like 1 loop, like they do one sound in 1 loop. So yeah, let's just start with beat 1. So yeah, that was, your standard kick drum. You'll see that in a lot of mods. This one's pretty punchy, and I quite like it. But because, it's just a bass drum, or a kick drum, not a bass drum. Well, some people call it a bass drum. I don't know if that's right or not. I'm not very musically educated, you'd say. But yeah, this guy, I'd definitely give him a solid 8. He's a good kick, does his job pretty well. Moving on to beat 2, which is a snare. So let's hear it. So this guy I really like, not only because, it's a nice catchy snare, but because it's very Incrediboxy, it's very a cappella, and that's like it's like the heart of Incredibox, a cappella, people making sounds with their voices, and personally I really like that, and which is also why I really like this guy. So I'd give him a solid 9 overall. Good sound, fits, it's just very good. Well, Maliki came online on Xbox, but we're not bothering with that today. Bye bye. Alright, let us move on to beat 3. So yeah, that guy sounds kind of weird by himself, but I can assure you, if you pair him with, let's say, we put these couple guys together, it sounds really nice. It's a nice background, clicky percussion, and it fits really well. So, this guy really breaks up the bass. I like it. I'd give him a solid 8, and, he's pretty drippy as well, like a lot of these characters are. They've got that drip. Anyways, let us move on to beat 4. So this is another snare, but if you compare it with this guy, he like skips a beat. He does it like every 2 times what this guy would do. And it's got quite a different sound. You can hear this in the original song, I'd say it's not quite as good as this guy, but I understand why he's here. Still sounds good, still pretty nice, and yeah, pretty good sound. Give him a solid 7. Let us go on to a beat 5. So he's got that very nice breakdown. He just does his big drum and then it just drops into whatever you have going on. It's very nice. You got that little gasp at this first loop. You can, I think you can hear this guy in the original song as well. He's just really cool. The only downside is he doesn't really do anything after that. He's just silent for like a solid 10 seconds and then he just boom, all of a sudden. But yeah, he is very nice and I'd give him a solid 8 out of 10. So pretty good. Now we're going to be moving on to the effects. Now, let's just put them in there. Effect 1, aka the bass. So yeah, pretty solid bass sound, standard. Basses are usually good in all the mods. However, there's one disappointing thing, and this isn't really to do with the mod, but the original song didn't necessarily have a bass. It had like a low, like choir vocal, which I really liked, but it's not in this mod, and this is what this guy's supposed to represent, but I really prefer that low choir sound compared to this guy. But I'm not going to hold that against it. It's a good bass, good sound. I'd just give it a flat, solid 9. And yeah, good 9, good bass, good sound. Moving on to effect 2. So yeah, like many of the effects, you kind of need some context to make them sound, better. By themselves, they sound a bit weird, but I can assure you, you pair this guy with, I think, Melody 5, yeah, they like kind of go together. Melody 5, follows up on effect 2, gives it a nice drawn out sound, and overall pretty nice effect. I'd give it a solid 7. Now we're going to be moving on to effect 3, which has quite a bit more to look at, or hear, I suppose. So yeah, this guy you can also hear in the original soundtrack, and he sounds pretty nice. The little whistle matched with the doo-doo. Very nice. Blends in with the music pretty well. The mix goes well. Hard to go wrong. I'd give him a solid 8. Moving on to effect 4. So yeah, like many of the sounds in here, probably literally all of them, you can hear them in the original version. This guy is like the perfect embodiment of what an effect should be. Like many other mods, the effects section will be, most of the time it will be like it'll be very melodic or very percussion heavy, almost like it's a beat, but the developer didn't have enough spaces for the beats and the melodies, so he just put it in as an effect. I'd say a perfect example of that would be like Effect 2 from Mechanic, which is like all percussion, and you could arguably put it in the beat section and nobody would bat an eye. So, a lot of these guys I really like because they are actual effects, little background sounds that just add a little bit of atmosphere to the music. It's exactly what you want to look for in an effect. As for the ranking, I did give this guy a solid 9. He's very good, and he's very nice, pleasant. Let's move on to Effect 5. So yeah, that guy only does that one thing, but I really like it. It's very nice, and by itself you might not think it's very nice, but say you pair it with vocal free, and let's put Effect 4 in there as well, or I could just completely mess that up. We try that again. See the way they all, Effect 5 does his thing first, the vocal free pairs up with it, follows up, and then you get the woo from Effect 4. So I'd give this guy a solid 7. He can't go any higher just because he doesn't do very much, but that's alright. So now we're going to be moving into the juice, the best part of any mod really, or maybe the second best part. Depends on who you ask, but it is the melodies, so let's just dive straight into melody 1. So, not to spoil it, but this guy is one of 3 arpeggios in this mod. And arpeggios are probably my personal favourite sound. The broken up chords, they just sound amazing. Just a constant noise, just filling in the gaps of any mix. It's great. I love this guy. All of the melodies are great. So I give this guy a solid 9. He sounds really nice, and you could just stick him in and he'll sound good no matter what. Moving on to melody 2. Now this guy is mega juice, and I believe he's going to be our first 10. It's a nice, like, overarching, long, drawn out vocal, which fills the atmosphere, really sets the mood for the tone of this Incredibox mod. The last day is a very solemn, very low key vibe. Little bit of sadness in there as well, it's kind of got like that love song kind of vibes, and I quite like it a lot. So yeah, solid first 10 I'd give this guy. Let's move on to melody 3. So yeah, if you've heard the original song, The Last Day, made by So Far So Good, this guy is like a lower pitch of like the main melody, which is melody 4. And I just love it. Anything with like a slightly lower pitch, or like low pitch sounds, are like my favorite. Usually, like say you take Rem's Evadair mod, you got Vocal 5. It's got that like deep Dark Souls type choir, and I just love it. Of course, this guy is not a choir, but you know, the low pitch and it's just great. It's kind of like a bass, but not really. It's not like a bass, but just a very nice sound. I'd give him a solid 9 out of 10. So let's go to melody 4. So that right there, that is also mega juicer. He's really good. He's like the main melody in the original song. You'll hear him pretty much throughout the entire thing, and he's amazing. And just in this mod, he's great. Absolutely love him. You could put him anywhere. You could even have him in for your entire mix. It would still sound great. Never gets old. It's a great sound. Beautiful arpeggio. And the harmony is just chef's kiss. It's great. I'll give this guy, or this will be our second 10 out of 10. So let's move on to melody 5, which I've already showed you, but let's hear him again. So yeah, this guy, compared to the other melodies, he's very minimal. You know, he's got like one little part per loop, but it's very nice, very low key. Really sells the background of the mod and any mix. Just really nice. Not really much else to say, really. I'd give him a solid 8. Pretty good. And for this mod, we're moving on to what is arguably the best section, although melodies and vocals are interchangeable in this mode because they're just all really good. We'll go with vocal 1 now.
So much feelings, am I crashing myself into the wall? I gotta touch down and carry on, that's my mind.
So yeah, these are the lyrics from the original song, and they sound great. No complaints. Sounds very nice. Really adds. This guy's like the most intense vocal. You know, say he's the loudest. You know, he's got more power behind his voice. So you know, if you ever have like a big build up, this is the guy you're gonna have straight after like the drop. And yeah, it's just really nice, really fits, and I'd give him a very good 9 out of 10. Let's move on to vocal 2.
I tried to mean a lot for you. I tried to dig a lot for you. In the casting we're living in, I gotta blast through the barriers, so much feeling.
This guy I really like as well. You know, he's got a little bit more low key than the first guy, but you know, there's still quite a bit of power behind that voice. You know, it's a very nice sound, and of course, you know, the character looks dripped out as always. But you know, we're ranking them based off sounds, not drip. But I'd say basically all of the guys in this are very dripped out. So that's vocal 2. I'd give him a solid 9 out of 10 as well. Let's move on to vocal 3. So I think this will be our one and only like lower ranking sound. It's not a bad sound, it's just I feel there could have been more. This guy could have done much more. This mod is, you know, it's got like the same characters as V4 from the original Incredibox for Love. I think this guy vocal free, he only has like one thing he does as well, so it's kind of unfortunate that he gets not a lot in this mod, but you know, what can you do? So we've given out like 7, 8s, 9s, and 10s so far. I think this guy's going to be our first 5. I'm putting him really low here because there's just not enough substance. But he does sound good. You can pair him with a couple of the effects and melodies. He'll sound very nice in the background, but I really think he could have been a lot more than what he is now. So let's move on to vocal 4, which is probably my favorite vocal out of all of them. So, you know, not gonna be biased here, but yeah.
Gonna live it like it always been the last day. Oh, I love you so far. The love will be.
So yeah, this guy, you know, says the title of the song, as you do with most vocals in any Incredibox mod, but out of the 3 vocals, I'd say I do like this guy the most. You know, he's very, very low-key, very nice, soft, somber, fits well with basically everything. Just can't go wrong with him. I'd give him a 9 like I did with vocal 1 and vocal 2, so yeah, solid 9 out of 10. And with that said, we will move on to vocal 5. So yeah, this guy works as like a bit of harmonization for vocal 1, but you can also use him by himself, and he can sound like really nice. It's like a background vocal with, you know, melodies, beats, and effects all supporting. If you look at my mix I made 2 days ago, I do use this guy without vocal 1, without any other vocals, and he can really, you know, sound very nice on his own. So yeah, pair him with vocal 1 gives it nice extra harmonization in the vocal, or you could use him for by himself for a nice little low-key atmospheric vibe. So yeah, very nice. I'd give him a solid 9 out of 10. And yeah, and you know, while we're here, we may as well take a look at the bonus and yeah, see how good it is. I've already seen it, but you know, we'll give it a nice little rating, and we'll also see how good the sounds all go together. So yeah, very low-key vibe with this one. I like it a lot. Really fits the vibe. And let us head straight into the bonus. I'll give my thoughts afterwards. So I'm just going to say it now. This is probably one of the best bonuses I've seen in any mod, honestly. Main reason being, it's just incredible. You can see this mod, you can see this bonus like theme and you know the art style in the original Incredibox, and you know it's a really nice callback to how the bonuses were made back then. Because now most mods, you know, they make their bonuses with like a storyline, which they did in Dystopia V8 of Incredibox. And you know, both are good. I'm not saying that story based bonuses are bad, but I personally prefer, you know, just a nice Like feel like bonuses should be like an addition to a mix, you know. It's like a build up. You play it, it's a little something different from all the sounds that you have access to, and it really just makes the mix sound so much better, you know. Yeah, that's basically it. You know, just for a little final touch, I think I'll put my favorite sound from each category all together, and we'll just see how it sounds. So yeah, let's see if we can put them all in at the same time. I don't have enough fingers for this. Wait, let's try that again. So yeah, it does sound a little bit empty without, you know, the bass and maybe some extra beats or another effect, but they do sound nice together. A lot of the sounds in this mod do sound nice together, and if you haven't tried it out for yourself, I strongly recommend that you do, because this mod is very high quality overall. Probably my favourite, although it only has been out for a couple of days, so you know, I'll give it some time to settle in, and then I can decide what my favourite mod is. Because before this mod came out, my personal favourite was Airline from the R-Box mod, just because I really like the dark kind of vibe it was going for, and the fact that it sounds like boss music. You know, I'm a big boss music kind of guy, so you know that really hit home. But this mod is very nice. I like it a lot, and I'd say The Last Day is my favorite song from the soundtrack of So Far So Good. So yeah, just give this mod a try. If you want to download it, you can go to Person from Brazil's YouTube channel, go into their description, and they will have a download link for both Android and PC. I'm not sure if there is one for Apple, but you could always try it. Or maybe it's just like a mobile link, so yeah, you should be able to download it no matter what device you're on. So yeah, go check it out. Show some love and support to Man from Brazil. He did an amazing job with this mod. I'm sure he put in a lot of work. I'm sure it took him a lot of time, but it was definitely worth it in the end. And yeah, have a good day.